Assalamu alaikum everyone. In today's class, I'll just explain how we go for the wedding invites or wedding illustrations or bridal illustrations. This is a simple bridal dress. It might look quite complicated, but I'll explain you how we do it. The first thing is that just take a simple brush, any brush. I've taken dip, pen, heart. What I'm going to do is the first step is just draw outline of the shirt wherever the area of the shirt is. Like I have drawn, this is let me just close. So this one is the ninth layer is the outline of the shirt. This one, see, this is the outline of the shirt outline. This one is the shirt outline. Then comes the embroidery. This is simple. I've drawn the embroidery plain on black color because I'm going to add a clipping mask of golden color page on it so that it convert into a golden color. So this is embroidery of the shirt. Then we come to the bottom side. So this is my third layer. This one is the bottom trousers. You see, this one is the trouser layer, so I've drawn the trouser, and then the embroidery of the trousers separately on the fourth layer. So this is the embroidery. If I close the eye of the fourth layer, you can see that it's separately on the fourth layer. How I have done it, I've just drawn one motif, and then with the transform tool, I used to move each motif to different sides. This is how I draw the trouser embroidery. And the same way the shirt embroidery, I draw the shirt embroidery. Then we come to the dupatta side. So this is the front side of the dupatta on the 10th layer. As you can see, this is the 10th layer, and then this is the 10th layer. If I turn off so the dupatta is on the separate layer, then comes the embroidery. The embroidery is on the separate layer. The embroidery of the dupatta, as you can see here, the embroidery of the dupatta is on the separate layer. This one. What exactly is this 13? This is the lighter part of this area. As you can see that I have reduced the opacity of this one. Now comes to the back side of the dupatta. So again, the back side, this is the sleeve. As you can see, the dress is of a chiffon type stuff dress, therefore the sleeves are these are the sleeves. If I turn off, so this is the original arm or hand of this whole arm, and then these are the hands. So on arm, this is the sleeve, and then this is the embroidery, right? So I just did what I just we have separately everything. Embroidery is separate on the. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this one to the bottom layer, make it the first layer, open the eye, and start just start shading on the first one. So if this is my, let me just mark this one first. Take so this is my background color. I'm just going to close the eye of the fourth for a minute. Now wherever I can see that the darks, you see, this is the dark line, these are the dark lines. I'm going to add shades or shadows and highlight that I explained in the ball. The same way I'll be putting shadows and highlight here, and then it will become live. It will look like a gharara or sharara, whatever you call it. So I'm just going to take eyedropper and select this area. As you can see, the color is dark. I'll be taking airbrush. I prefer airbrush triangle. You can take airbrush normal as well. I'll just color this area wherever the airbrush is needed. I'm just going to use first the dark one, reduce the size a little. Now open the eye and see. This is going to give a little life to the have a look here. It's quite dark here. It's not looking that good right now, right? So what should we do to make it look more good? So what we'll do is we'll just take the lighter colors now. I'm just adding the highlights and shadows, and then you will see what will happen next. Now just have a look at the places where I added the highlights and darks properly. They look quite better, but not that good. So what should we do next is take blur brush and blur it to make it more realistic. Now you can see there is, it looked like that there's some depth in this area. This area looks like there is something like now you can see that I have added all the colors. Let me just first start here. So originally this was the fourth layer, and I have added, this is the fifth layer where I have added all the highlights and dark sheets. So the dark colors, you can see these are the dark colors and these are the light colors. And what I did with blur tool, I used the blur tool, and as you can see, it is being, it has went out a little from the fourth layer. So what I will do is, the best thing is to clip it to the fourth layer. Now I have clipped it to the fourth layer, and now I'm going to just have a look. Now it looks like a gharara. It's not that bad. So if I just close the eye of this fourth layer, you can see this is how it looked like previously. I'm just going to clip it, and now you have a look that it does look like it's not, it doesn't look like it's a flat surface. It looks like a gharara that is being moving, or it's live. If you have a look at the very corner of this area, it doesn't look like that good. So what should we do is, we'll be taking the light color from here, select our airbrush triangle tool, reduce the size a little, and then the size, and make it a little like this. So the very corner is light color, and then we'll select the dark color from eyedropper tool and add the dark color here. I've added this area a bit darker than these. Why? Because as you can see, the two sides, two separate legs are being joined here. So this area will be a bit darker. So I'm just going to increase the size a little more and make it a little more darker. Maybe I make it a bit black as well. Reduce the size a little, and then make a straight line here like this. Now have a look. I might have to bring this line a little bit dark, like till here, and then this area, this will be very black here. This is going to be like almost black here, and then right with the black, I'll add the highlight, which is the lighter color, like this. So right with the black dark shade, I added lighter shade. Now see, it does look like okay. I'm going to add a little highlight here as well. I'm using the word highlight because highlight means lighter shade. Now see, I've just added a straight line right with the dark. Now you can see it does look like two separate legs, because this is the light color that I have added. So with the blur tool, I'll reduce the opacity, increase the size, reduce the opacity, and just like very less, and just mark it from here till here. Okay. Now just let me just close the eye of the original image, and now you see. Now gharara does look like an original gharara, a real cloth piece, a real thing, and you can see the shirt or the dupatta don't have reality in it. They look like a flat surface, they look like a drawing. So I just explain you the Garara side, and now I'm just going to add the golden sheet here, and then you will see how it turns out. First thing is, go to the embroidery layer, click on the camera sign. As I already have this color with me, here it is. I'll just simply tap yes, and I'm not going to extract the line. I'll just do the clipping, and see, the embroidery has come. Now if we have a look at the embroidery doesn't look like real. So if I just if I just close the eye and then see the embroidery, somewhere the embroidery has a dark shades and somewhere it has light shades. So what should we do? I'm going to close the bottom side layer, the original shading of shading. This one is the head shadow and highlight. This one is the cloth piece, the Garara piece. I'm going to close their eyes, and I'm going to put my finger on the embroidery layer. That's the embroidery and that's the clipping layer. I'm just going to add a new layer. Clip that layer to the embroidery one, and then I'll add some shades and highlight here as well. Now how I will add the shades and highlight? With the highlight tool, I'll select this yellow color, move it to the dark color like this, and then I see that this area there will be a darker shades. So this area will be darker. Okay. Okay, like this. Then if I go to this area, then again this one will be a bit darker. I'm just going to increase the a little more darker. Okay, now this side will be, they will be just like this. Now this one will be like this. Okay, so this area again, this is going to be dark. Okay, like this. Again, this area will be dark. Right, this area will be dark. Right, so this side is dark, this is dark, these are dark areas. Right, this is dark. I'm just going to open the eye and see, it does look like a bit real now. Not that much, but it still looks like a bit real. Now take the hairbrush tool, increase it. Okay, wherever you can see, this area will be dark. This area is going to be a bit darker. I feel like I should take more. I might have to increase it a little toward the black side. Yes, now it looks a bit black. That's fine. Okay. Right. Okay. Now these are okay. Like this. Now I'm going to take a lighter shade. Just go straight to the very light shade, a bit of a whiter shade, a bit toward whiter shade, and add with the highlight areas, I'll add the darkish light shades. Lighter shade. I'm going to select the same darker shade. Okay. In case you want to move toward the darker shade, and mark this as well dark. Okay. Right. A bit black. Okay. Just close the eye of the original one. Now see, these are quite black. Okay. Now why I have made them now I have made them quite black. So what I'm going to do is I'll take the whiter sheet. Now I'll reduce the brush. Increase the brush and see. Now you see, it does look like something real, right? Let me just show you once again. I'm going to close only the eye of the shading. This was originally the this was the separate layer, which is fourth layer, the trouser layer. Then comes the embroidery layer. I added a clipping so it becomes something like that, and then when I added a shading only on the trouser, then it becomes something like this. And when I added a new layer on top of embroidery and added shades and highlights to the embroidery layer, then it becomes something like this. Now you can see the difference, how beautiful it looks like. I'm going to share the final look of this whole image as well, but I'm sure that you will enjoy this class and you'll practice this thing and take any picture and start trying it. It's very simple, it's very easy, and it gives stunning results. Thank you.